A man already charged with one murder is now a person of interest in the human remains investigation going on in Southcrest. Time for the Streamline, everything you need to know to start your day in 10 minutes or less. ABC 10 News reporter Adam Campos joins us live outside of the home where investigators are still excavating. Adam, this is the third day of an extensive search, and now we're learning this man who could be connected has a long criminal past.
Yeah, Jared, I'm here outside the home where investigators are working through the night, and the DA's office is now naming 74-year-old Dwight William Roan as the person of interest in this case. He used to live here at this home, and we're finding out that he has a long criminal history. Dwight is in custody right now, according to the DA's office, as he was charged with killing another man named Bernardo Moreno. His body was found in October 2023 while crews were putting out a brush fire on the 905 freeway, and after a lengthy investigation, Roan was named the suspect and arrested last December. And Roan is accused of shooting Moreno and then burning his body. And investigators say this case here at the home stems from that 2023 homicide. Now, still, there's a lot of questions at this point. What else has been found at the home? How many remains there are, whose remains they are, and how they got here? We're still working to find out all those answers, and when we do, we'll bring them to you right here on air and online at 10news.com. So for now, live in Southcrest, Adam Campos, ABC 10 News.
Negotiators from the U.S. and Ukraine will meet in Florida today for another round of peace talks. This comes 2 days after Russian President Vladimir Putin met with U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff. Now, Russia agreed to some concessions in the peace plan, but Putin called some of the other demands, quote, unacceptable. Even as negotiations continue, so does the war. Overnight, Russia launched 138 drones and 2 missiles. Ukraine fought back with a drone strike of its own. We're learning new details this morning about the controversial second airstrike on a suspected drug boat in the Caribbean. A source tells ABC News 2 survivors of that initial strike climbed back onto the boat. They were believed to be communicating with others while trying to salvage some of the drugs. Because of that, it was determined that they were, quote, still in the fight and thus valid targets. That led to the second strike, which killed the survivors. The source also says a judge advocate general was present during the strikes, giving legal advice. So far, there have been 21 strikes on suspected drug smugglers in the Caribbean and the Eastern Pacific, killing 83 people. The Secretary of War Pete Hegseth is now being accused of putting U.S. troops in danger. A new Pentagon watchdog report found Hegseth shared classified information over the Signal messaging app. Secretary of War shared plans for a military strike in Yemen in a group chat, which mistakenly included an Atlantic reporter. Hegseth said he declassified that information, and he also refused an interview as part of the investigation. Instead, he responded on social media this week, writing, quote, no classified information, total exoneration, case closed, Houthis bombed us into submission. Thank you for your attention to this report.
House Democrats released new images and videos of sex offender Jeffrey Epstein's private Caribbean island. The video of the secluded hideaway shows the grounds, the pool, the view, along with interior images of a bedroom and also bathroom. It also shows a room with a dental chair and face masks of men tacked to the wall. As for the release of the Epstein files, a new obstacle may withhold some of the records. Epstein's accomplice, Ghislaine Maxwell, will file a petition challenging her conviction. The Justice Department has 2 weeks left to publicize the Epstein files after President Trump signed off on its release. A U.S. Air Force Thunderbird pilot had to eject from a fighter jet before it crashed during a training mission Wednesday morning in San Bernardino. The F-16C Fighting Falcon crashed near Trona and burst into flames. You can see that thick cloud of black smoke quickly rising. San Bernardino County officials said that the pilot was taken to the hospital and had non-life-threatening injuries. This morning, a CDC advisory committee will meet to discuss whether to change the recommendations that newborns receive the hepatitis B vaccine at birth, a recommendation in place for decades. Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has been critical of the vaccine's effectiveness. Currently, there's no cure for the hepatitis B virus, which can be deadly, particularly for children. One of the CDC committee members has argued unless the mother has Hep B, newborns don't need to be vaccinated right away. However, other experts disagree with that claim.
What I can see from my perspective is there's no new safety data, that there's no necessarily scientific evidence for changing this.
The committee's decision is important for insurance reasons because most insurers are required to cover vaccines the CDC committee endorses.
Speaking of healthcare, today a bipartisan group of lawmakers will unveil their plan to prevent a massive spike in healthcare premiums. The CNN says this new 2-year plan would include a 1-year extension of Affordable Care Act tax subsidies with some modifications. The second year would make even more changes, including ways to offset the costs. The group hopes to put this plan up for a vote in Congress by December 18th. The subsidies are set to expire at the end of the year. Hawaii is taking TikTok's parent company to court. On Wednesday, the state filed a lawsuit against ByteDance, saying TikTok was built to be addictive. State officials say the platform was designed to exploit children's vulnerabilities and fuel anxiety and compulsive use. The complaint also says TikTok keeps users online longer to boost data collection and ad revenue. It compares TikTok's features to tactics used in gambling. Hawaii also claims TikTok misled the public about safety risks.
The holidays brings celebrations with family and friends, but this is also the time of year where your wallet takes a hit because of all of the expenses. But there are things you can do around town that will keep you in the holiday spirit without costing you a dime.
Oh, yay! There's more of the big ones.
Daisy Romero and her helpers are working to get her store, El Cholo's Kid, ready for Saturday night's Chula Vista Starlight Parade.
Having lights up and the trees and big or small, I think just any color to the downtown area is just exciting for especially kids.
The Starlight Parade is a family-friendly event that draws crowds of people to the city's downtown area as floats and marching bands make their way down 3rd Avenue. And the best part, it's free to attend.
Even if you don't have money, the holiday spirit isn't just for those with money. You also deserve to have a bit of joy that doesn't require you to spend. So I would encourage people to come out. There's free parking.
This is just one of the many free holiday events in San Diego, as people look to spread some holiday cheer without breaking the bank. Data from PricewaterhouseCoopers, a multinational firm, shows people are looking to spend 5% less this holiday season compared to last year, where consumers spent an average of $1,600 on gifts, travel, and entertainment. To help cut costs, many event organizers are working to offer affordable holiday options for families. Next weekend, on December 14th and December 21st, hundreds of thousands of people will gather around the bay to get a glimpse of about 80 lavishly decorated boats as part of the annual San Diego Bay Parade of Lights. There's no cost to watch. This weekend, people will pack Balboa Park for the city's annual December Nights, where there will be free entertainment, dozens of food and beverage vendors, and local merch. And then there are a number of tree lighting ceremonies around town, in the South Bay to North County and cities in between. For a full list of holiday events in San Diego, head to our website 10news.com and click on this story. Marie Cornell, ABC 10 News.
All right, another Powerball drawing last night and no matching numbers. The jackpot now rises to $820 million. A cash option for a winning ticket will earn more than $362 million. While no one had all the numbers right in Wednesday night's drawing, there were 2 tickets in California and Florida worth $1 million apiece and a $2 million winner in Kentucky. Checked our tickets. We were not part of that $1 million. Again, there's another drawing on Saturday. You may want to keep your eyes on the sky, the night sky, for one of the year's last astronomical spectacles. A supermoon will be shining bright tonight. According to Earth Sky, it will be at its fullest at about 3:14 p.m. The moon will also appear full on Friday night. The year's final supermoon will also be the last of 3 back-to-back supermoons of the year. A supermoon happens when the moon is at its nearest point to Earth, which makes it appear larger and fuller. December's full supermoon, also called the cold moon, meaning it is the full moon event closest to the winter solstice. So hopefully you can catch that. And that's your ABC 10 News Streamline. Everything you need to know today in under 10 minutes.